Slot Shady Buckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm off the weekend, man. I don't usually get the. Well, I guess I haven't had a full weekend off in a while. I'm not complaining, mind you, because I kind of like working them. Now that we're at that certain age where it doesn't matter what days we're off, right? We're not trying to be off the weekend for the kids. Whatever days off kind of works. I don't even mind a couple during the week anymore. There's less crowded if we do decide to get out. Because I'm off the weekend, and my plan is to not go anywhere. I'm not going farther from the house than where I am right now, which is in my garage, my little sanctuary, my little piece of heaven, my little bar area. I'm having the Piney River Making Hay German style Pilsner. And this very old glass I'm using, Michelob Ales and Lagers, is probably at least a decade and a half old. I don't know which one this one is. Some of them. Now, this one might not be that old. It doesn't have a date on it. I've got one with a date on it. Anyway, they hold 12 ounces exactly, as you can see, right to the rim, man. Uh, a very nice interpretation of a German style Pilsner. Ingredients are Ozark well water, malted barley, yeast, and hops. I do like the fact that they put the ingredients on the label. Quite frankly, I wish all breweries would do that. It never quite made sense to me where you had certain beer geeks pissing their pants over a date and don't care what's in it. That doesn't make sense to me. I care more what's in the product than the date, but nevertheless, I don't care what they put in it. I just need a date on it, man. It seems rather ridiculous, but beer geeks are kind of ridiculous sometimes. Uh, oh, Merge, to talk about slumping craft beer sales. Some folks are worried. You always got those Chicken Littles screaming the sky is falling. Why am I not worried? Because I've been hearing the same nonsense for at least the last 2.5 decades. I mean, there's been somebody saying the craft beer bubble is going to drop for at least the last. I remember it as early as 2000. And then I've had certain friends over social media that have been crying ever since about 2010, 2011. It's going to drop out, man, and here we are. So yeah, things change, things evolve, trends go like this and this. So yes, some craft breweries aren't going to make it, and that's sad. But others are going to pop up, and that's good. A lot of folks like me want to cry when a good craft brewery gets sold to a conglomerate, or when they just sell, or when they just fold up shop. Um, and a lot of us seem to forget it's a business. As craft beer lovers, want to think it's all about the art, man. It's all about the product, but it's about the business. A lot of these folks get into something for fun, and it becomes more work than they bargained for. But sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes you do something for a period of time, and then you want to move on. A lot of good craft breweries been around for a decade, decide to sell and move on. They had the great run, they enjoyed it while they were doing it, but now it's time to do something else. So I don't worry about such things. That's going to happen. I don't get mad at breweries for selling. I rarely buy them again once they go to a conglomerate, but I can't be mad at them for selling out. It's a lot of work, man. Sometimes you get this great hobby, and you say, "Well, let's make a business out of it." And then it becomes more work than you bargained for, and it's fun for a period of time. Then at some point, maybe it's just not fun anymore. Or you have other family circumstances, that happens over time as well. So, to the Chicken Littles out there screaming the sky is falling, the truth is you may be right, but you people have been saying this for at least a decade and a half, in some cases more. So nobody's listening to you anymore. Of course, if you say it every year, at some point you're going to be right. You can't claim to be right if you've been wrong 15 times before. things change. Yes, the demographic changes. You know, at one point I was the target demographic, but now I'm closer to 60 than not, so I'm not the target demographic anymore. And I think that's a lot of what one of the that's what a lot of older beer geeks are getting their knickers in a twist about is they're no longer the focus. So whatever is popping up, now you're seeing a lot of seltzers, a lot of ciders, a lot of sours, because that's what the younger folks are wanting to drink. We are no longer the demographic, folks. They're not making the beer for us. If we're able to go out somewhere and find something we like, well, that's a fucking bonus. And quit your bitching. Let me move that out of the way. Finished. I poured the last of this off. I had about a little over 2 ounces left, so I thought I'd finish it off. Here's my Boot Hill Distillery straight wheat whiskey. It's 100 proof from Boot Hill Distillery, and this is a very good product, man. I picked it up back in January though, so I figured it was time to finish it off. And I figured the last of it really ought to be drank neat. So I poured it in my very old Woodford Reserve glass, and as you can see, the Woodford Reserve is about gone, but nevertheless, I thought I'd finish it off here. Oh man, that nose is insane. Been watching some Olympics this morning. I've really been enjoying watching the Olympics now that it's almost over. I do prefer I love the track and field events for some reason, but I enjoyed watching the swimming and some of the other events as well, the beach volleyball. I'm not crazy about the gymnastics, so I don't watch a lot of it. Not that they're not great athletes, because they are. Just doesn't excite me as much as some of the others do. We've done very well in the Olympics. And of course, we got Los Angeles in 4 years, so that'll be interesting. LA can't handle their business on a regular basis. I don't know what the hell they're going to do when the Olympics come to town. They can't handle their shit on a regular day. I don't know what's going to happen during the Olympics, but nevertheless, they've got it. Of all the cities to give it to, they gave it to LA again. I'm not hating on LA. I mean, I grew up in the area. But I keep thinking maybe there was, maybe there was a better place to let it go. But nevertheless, give it to a city that's got their shit together. Oh man. But they never give it to those cities, do they? I was going to make the comment, give it to a city where you can walk the neighborhood in the dark safely. But I don't know any of these cities they've given the Olympics to. You can say that. I was giving it to the big cities where there's problems. They're giving it to giving it to somebody that deserves it, man. But nevertheless, it'll be exciting that it's here in our country. We'll see how we do. We did very good this time around, but I've enjoyed watching even the events where we didn't win the medal. At times there was an inspiring story behind it, so that was always nice as well. But then it'll be back to regular TV. Everything can be back okay again. Got some folks out there that don't like the Olympics. I don't know why, but it was always a big deal when I was a kid. It was always something you look forward to. Because back then it was every 4 years, but now they've staggered the game, so you've got the Winter Olympics in 2 years. So you only have to wait 2 years in between Olympics, which is nice. That was very smart because they used to do them, both the summer and winter the same year, but now they've got them staggered, and that's very nice. Uh, I like the winter games. I do prefer the summer games, but then when the winter games come along, there's a lot of sports I get interested in as well. Of course, who can forget the Miracle on Ice? That was very important back in way back when, back in 1980, I guess. There was a lot going on for us at that particular time period. People talk about our country being divided now. We were rather divided back then too. And maybe I don't know what event it would be though. We had that Cold War with Russia. I mean, that was such an important win for us. It was morale. Just I mean, no matter who you were, no matter what side of the aisle you were on, that was just amazing to watch. But now it seems like people have forgotten about that. I'm not sure if there would be a single event that could bring people together now, like it did back then. Just a different time, man. But are we more divided now than we've ever been? Hell, I don't know. I mean, I can only speak for the time I've been alive, but I mean, you can go back in history where, before a certain segment of society wasn't recognized, before certain segments of society had the right to vote, when people had to use different water fountains, weren't allowed in the same hotels. I mean, yeah, people like to say, well, we're more divided now than we have it. Well, maybe not. It's all about perspective. Or when I hear the term, let's take America back, I'm thinking, back to when? When did you think we were perfect? Back when we had separate drinking fountains? Back before women were allowed to have a checking account? I mean, what back are you talking about? And I never get a clear answer, is the thing. And then when I hear "Make America Great Again," I'm thinking, will you tell me the time period when we were great? Because we might have been from a certain perspective, but I'm guessing there was also some things we were doing horribly wrong as well. I'd like to get us to a point where basic common decency isn't thought of as a radical left wing idea. Giving kids free breakfast and lunch isn't thought of a radical left idea. I don't know when common decency became a radical left idea, but it seems to be these days. This being nice to people seems to be a radical left idea. I don't know. Just common decency should be common decency. I don't know why that or how that became political, but it seems to have become. Oh man, this stuff is very good. I'm sad to see it go, but like I said, I've had it since January, so I figured it was time to finish it up. Just trying to go through some odds and ends. I've got a lot of open bottles. Well, not as much as I have, but they're going one at a time here. And then it was time for this one to go bye bye. It's like these flies know when I turn the camera on. I didn't have any of them around until I turned the camera on, and now they all show up. Little bastards. Oh man, that is a nice product though. Not as sweet as you might think, but is a certain amount of sweetness up front. A little bit of toffee going on. Little nutty note, almost an amaretto like note in there. Oh man, that's just nice, man. A lot of big oak and spice in the finish. A very spicy finish. I really enjoy that. little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of allspice, but I'm picking up just the slightest hint of cayenne and a little bit of ginger in there as well. Anyways, let me finish this up, and I've got one more thing to drink with you before I end this particular video. This Saturday, man. I didn't drink yesterday. I didn't drink on Thursday night or Friday night, but I am off tomorrow as well. I was really tired last night, so I said, I just want to eat a little bit, watch some Olympics, call it a night. The Iron Gospel from Banter, a hazy IPA. Let me show that to you. Oh gosh, that's delicious. I'm not a huge fan of the style, in all honesty, and I'm on the record as saying so, but I really do enjoy this one because it's not as murky as a lot of what seems to be these days, muddled. A lot of big tropical fruit notes, as you might expect. A lot of big tropical fruit notes. A little bit of citrus zest on the back end, some orange, some grapefruit, some stone fruit in the middle. I'm picking up some apricot specifically. Very delightful summer offering. Of course, it's a year-rounder, but it feels like a summer beer to me. I do kind of miss the old malty IPAs, though. When every IPA was kind of copper colored. Yeah, before they were gold. If you look at beer charts from about 20 years ago, they would show you the colors of specific styles, and IPA was more of a between an amber and a copper. But now you've got the West Coast IPAs that are a deep golden, and you got whatever the hell color these. Oh. Just a nice, easy drinking beer. Oh, I just saw that. Come on, Jason. Send you positive vibes and blessings. I appreciate that, my friend. I'm going to post your message. I posted, then my finger twitched, and I took it off. So I put it back. Thank you, sir. Hope you're doing all right this Saturday afternoon. I'm going to relax today. I'm not going anywhere. Just want to take it easy today. I've been asked if I want to do a couple of things, but I really don't. I'm tired, man. It was a long day yesterday, and I just want to relax this weekend. That the fact I'm trying desperately hard not to spend any money because my wife and I on vacation about a month and a half. Haircut looks good. Thank you, but I actually haven't had a haircut. It may be a different style, but I haven't had a haircut in 2 months. Probably due for one, but no, I haven't had a haircut. Just kind of went with that old style to the flipped her back there. Nope, no haircut. All the same. Yeah, actually, it's been longer than that. Actually, I got a haircut just before my birthday, so it was about mid-May last time I had a haircut. So it's been a minute, but I appreciate the thought. Yeah, I went to a concert on my birthday, Saxon and Uriah Heep. So I got it cut about a week before then, but I haven't had a haircut since. Got somebody driving their midlife crisis car. Oh, mercy. What is it with old white dudes and sports cars? I mean, do old white guys not have an original thought? I mean, I understand I am an old white guy, but I've never had a desire to buy a sports car, but it seems like so many of us have to get a sports car. I just don't get it. or that penis extension. Hey, look at me. I get a lot. Most of these guys are probably recently divorced, and so I think that's something they need to do. I've just never had that chip. Even as a kid, I didn't want a sports car. To be honest with you, I've always been a little different, I guess, in that way. Damn, fucking skaters, man! I can get that little bastard. Anyway, I digress. I better wrap this up. I'm going to go on a bug killing spree here, and I'll be back after a while. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. I'm also Tom, the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. All right, good guys. Launch ya.